In this video, I'm going to talk you through some tried and tested ways of being heard. Now, a lot of these methods are considered old school and maybe you've tried them in the past, but they still work and you can still get your message out. You can still be heard by using them. Now, the first one, and one that works really well and still does, is ad swaps. You need a mailing list to do this. But what happens is you send an email to your list advertising somebody else's offer, and they reciprocate by sending an email to their list advertising your offer. And it works very well because, first of all, it's going to a very targeted list of recipients. They're people who want to receive email from either you or this other person. And because they're coming from a trusted source, they're likely to be opened and likely to be read. So your message is likely to be heard. And lots of people actually swear by ad swaps still, even though they've been around for as long as there's been email, really. And the second method is via Twitter. Now, Twitter is still a great way to reach a consumer audience. If you're a business and you want to reach potential customers, then Twitter is still a good way to do it. And it's estimated that the average user spends about 17 minutes each and every day reading tweets. And you can read a lot of 140 character messages in that time. So if someone is following you on Twitter, chances are they are going to read your tweets and they are going to listen to what you have to say. And then there's Facebook. And there are two ways that you can be heard on Facebook. The first is through a Facebook page or a Facebook fan page. And the other way is through Facebook ads. And Facebook ads in particular can be very, very targeted. And it's estimated that the average user spends 51 minutes per day on the site. So there's a lot of interaction that goes on. So lots of people still pay a lot of attention to Facebook. And then there's Google+. Now, Google+ is very underrated as a social network. Lots of people write Google+ off. They say that it was a flop. It didn't start very well. It tried to compete with Facebook and it didn't do a good job, and so on and so on and so on. And so lots of people have constantly written off Google+. But the thing about Google Plus is it is run by Google, and posts on Google Plus are indexed and ranked into Google search pages so that you do get your message into Google very quickly when you do it via Google Plus. And then there's LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is perfect for reaching a business-to-business audience. And there are millions of people in businesses, large and small, all around the world who regularly check into LinkedIn. And there are two ways that you can get your message out and be heard on LinkedIn. The first and simplest and cheapest is to participate into discussions. Join in the discussion in your niche and get well known. Treat it like you would any other forum site, really, and become well known and regarded as an expert on LinkedIn, and you will be heard. And the other way is to buy advertising on LinkedIn. It works in a similar way to buying the Google AdWords or buying Facebook advertising, but it's aimed purely and solely at businesses and a business-related audience. So if you're looking for a business-to-business market, then LinkedIn is certainly a good place to start looking for customers and people who are interested in what you have to say. Another way, and this is very old school, but it still works, is to have share buttons on your website or your blog so that when people come to your site, they like your content, they can click the button and share it on Facebook or Twitter or other social networks. If you have a WordPress blog, then you can install the Shareaholic plugin, which will put share buttons for Facebook and Twitter and other sites on there. And you can either install it from within the WordPress dashboard itself, or you can come here to shareaholic.com. And finally, there are article sites. Now, article sites are not as useful for SEO as they used to be, certainly since the last time that Google changed their algorithm. But they still can be helpful for getting your message out there. And probably the best site for distributing articles is easyinarticles.com. In fact, some people say that once you've got your article on easyinarticles.com, you don't really need to look anywhere else. And you can sign up for free on the site. Now, one thing to remember, though, is once you've got your article up on easyinarticles.com, is don't post it anywhere else, not even on your own blog, because then it's going to be duplicate content and it's going to get slapped down. But they do still work for getting your message out. So there you go, a few old school, tried and tested methods of being heard, which still work today, just as they always have done.